everyone, Karen here, and today I'm going to be making a card that looks like an aquarium. Now, for the main fish and the coral and all that, I'm going to be using this Under the Sea die from Crafter's Companion. I have it cut out right here. I'm going to be using this to put Happy Birthday on, and this is a Arts and Flower from Sharon Collis. I'm also going to be embossing some of the pieces with a wood pattern. And any wood grain embossing folder you have in your stash will do. You know, this is something great to have in your stash, something that will make wood. And then I'm also going to use this message for the sign. I am going to use Best Fishes for a Happy Birthday. And this is from Art Impressions. They have some funny stamps, but so I'm going to use that today too. Now, the papers that we have, let's talk about what we have here. Now, I'm going to start from the back of the card and work my way around. I have You're Officially Another Year Older to put on the back of the card. And this is a 3x4. And the craft card here is 3.5 by 4.5. A little different. This is going to be the back of the card. This is going to be a 6x5. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of acetate that are also 6x5. And I have just stuck some painter's tape on there so I don't lose track of them. Now, over here, I have 8 pieces of 5 by 1 3/4. And what we're going to be doing with those is we're going to be scoring them to make little pillars for our card to make it pop out and look like an aquarium. I then have 3 that are 6x1. This is going to be the sand or rocks in the bottom of the aquarium. I then have some pieces that are 1/2 by 6. Now this will be the top frame and bottom frame of the aquarium is what I'm thinking. And then I also have 2 that are 5 by 1/4. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these. I'll find out when the card is all put together if I want to put these in the front or not. I'm leaning toward it, but I have to get there first and make sure. These are also going to be embossed with the wood, and we'll talk about that in a second. So I have cut out all of the pieces from this set here. There's a couple pieces of coral. There's some plants. There are 2 different shells and 2 different fish. Now I've got all these done already. This is the little scallop here. And there are little holes there where you can emboss and then ink over them. You can see that's what I did here. And I will show you how I did that with these over here. But I just went with 3 different colors. I went with a muted red, a yellow, and a muted orange. I thought that would look good for the aquarium. Alright, so now let's talk about the fish here and get all this ready. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap. And let's see, I'll start over here in this corner. So I have 3 done. They're all colored and embossed, good to go. So this one here is already embossed, but I just need to color it. So I am going to put this back in the die. Now this one here, I did it with a dark brown because I have Honey Pot, I have Friar Brown, Red Berry, and I have a Honey Mustard from Gina K. So these are the colors I'm going to be using here today. So I think for this shell here, I have one that's already brown. So I think maybe I'll do it more of a yellow color. So I'm going to ink this up. Make sure the dye is sitting in there properly. And color it in. Turn it the other way, since my finger was in the way. Get that back in there. There we go. And ink up. Just that easy. There we go. So these scallops are done. So let's now talk about the angelfish here. So I have 2 angelfish done. And this one, all I've done here is cut out. So the first thing I want to do is emboss these lines. So when I go and color it, it comes out a lot nicer. So let me grab my folder. All right, I am going to do all this on my MIDI. So I have my purple shim I have a piece of embossing mat I've cut down to fit this size. I am going to put the die cut back into the die. Put that on here. And I'm only going to use half the folder. If you put both sides of the folder in, it's way too much pressure. So I'm going to lay this on top like this. Leave this piece hanging here and run this through my MIDI. That pulls through. And now I will ink it up with the red. Turn it over. Now this has an eye, so let me grab a black pen to do the eye. And this is just a 0.5 art liner. You just need something skinny and dark that you can get in there. And make an eye. There we go. Alright, the other fish, it's more of a generic kind of looking fish. I decided to make them cream with a little gold on them. So I'm going to put that back in the die. Close that up. I'm going to bring the honey pot back in. Ink that up and do his fins. And I'll do his eye. There we go. And he's done. Alright, we'll put those back in the tray. Alright, now let's talk about the back of the card. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my wood panel embossing folder here. Like I said, any wood embossing folder you have will do. I'm going to put this in here. And once again, this was a 3.5 by 4.5. Now this is a 2D folder, so I need my shim. There's my mini shim, and run this through. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to bring in the Friar Brown. And I'm just going to go around it to bring out that grain. Because once you put a little color on there, it shows up so much better. Now I'm not going to do the middle because this is going to be over the top here. Just put a little color on here. Should do it. Right, let's see if this needs anything else. I think for the back of this, I want to do like a little doodle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and just make a little wavy line here. One here. One here. And one here. And then maybe we'll put a little dot in the middle. Maybe along the long side here, we'll just put a little swish and two little dots. And maybe we'll put one here on the sides. And some dots. There we go. That dresses the back up a lot nicer. I think that's good. Alright, let me glue this down. And we'll give this time to dry. clean that up later. Alright, so if you start to get little smudges like that, your best bet is to just embrace it and just put in some more. And then it looks intentional, and no one will be the wiser. Just put a couple little things in there. There you go. When you smudge it, lean into the smudge. Alright, we'll set this aside to dry. So when I did these, this was the same thing. I ran the 1/2 by 6s through the embossing folder and then inked them just like I did that paper. So I won't do that again. Alright, so next, let's bring in the scoreboard and let's get all of our pillars ready. Alright, so I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are 5 inches by 1 3/4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in here along the short side, and we are going to score at 1/2, 3/4, 1 1/4, and 1 1/2. I do that for all 8 pieces. So once again, 1/2, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Alright, now let's get all of these folded. So you're just going to fold on all the score lines. Just fold every single one. Alright, what we're going to do, let me grab my glue, and I have some clips in case I need to hold it. On this 1/2, I should say 1/4 inch strip on the end. Because when we scored at 1 1/2, that left us a 1/4 inch on the end. So we want to go into that 1/4 inch final piece here. Put some glue on here. Fold over 2 of the sides. Fold this one down, and they will match. That's all you have to do. Then once it dries, there you go. We will have a column. So we need to do that with all 8 pieces. So let's fold. Fold this side. Find your 1/4 inch on the end. It's the shorter of the 2 score lines. I should say sides. Fold that down. Fold that over. There you go. And if you want, fold it in the other direction. Make sure it's square. There you go. And let it dry. Alright, so now we're ready to construct everything. Now let's put these over here. And we're going to start with the back of our card. So we have the 6 by 5, which is going to go on the back. And this is going to go on the back here. So let's go ahead and glue this on while we're back here. Now if I end up not using all of this inside the tank, I can put some of this on the back. So we'll just put this on here for now. Alright, then we will flip this over. So I think just to give it a little interest, I'm going to take whatever is left on this blue and put a little bit more blue on here. grab some of the parakeet here and just lightly make this a little bluer. There we go. Now if you wanted to, and just put the messaging on the inside of the fish tank, you absolutely could make this back panel acetate also and be clear all the way through the fish tank. But I decided to make this one solid. Alright, so now all of these have had a chance to dry. Now it's time to attach them. Now we're going to attach them like this. The skinny side to the back here. So we're going to do this on the 1/4 inch side. This will get lined up with the edge. And press down. And we'll give that a second to dry. And we'll put one on the other side. On the skinny side. Line it up with the side of the card. You can lay it flat if you want to. It's easier to see. There we go. So while this dries a little bit, let's talk about the sand we're going to have on the bottom of the fish tank. So what I want to do is I just want to put some little wavy edges here on this 1x6. Just like that. And I'm going to do that with each one. Just making it wavy because the sand on the bottom of a fish tank is not flat. So those fish kick things around all the time. So you could even make one a little bit deeper. There we go. So now I'm going to bring in the honey mustard. We'll flip that one over since I wrote in the front of that. And I'm just going to go across the top of these very quickly, just to give it a little something on top here. Just to give it a little bit of an edge. And that is done. Now I am going to need to trim one of these down since I glued on these two panels already. So now this one should slide right in here. There we go. Alright, let's glue this down. And we want this flush with the bottom of the card. Just tuck that in there. There we go. Now, while this sets up, I need to talk about what I want to put on all these panels here. So we're going to have the back, then we're going to have a piece of acetate here on the top. So we'll need to decorate that. So that will have a piece of sand. Then this will go on top of this. So we'll put this one over here next. Then the next piece of acetate will be over here. And then the one in front, the sand, I'm not sure if I'm going to put sand on this one or not. I may leave this one plain. Well, no, we'll see how that front panel goes. All right, so I'm going to bring in some dry adhesive here. And we are going to glue down all the sand. Let me find the end here. There we go. So I'll start with this one here. I will put a strip across here. There we go. Make sure those are all stuck on there really good so the backing paper comes off easily. Here is one. Here's two. And the one in the middle. Alright, now this will go right on the bottom of the acetate. Like that. Okay. We will repeat with this one here. So now we can start bringing in our fish and decide how we want to lay these out. So I think the best thing to do is let's start with the back and put some seaweed and things on the back. Here, let me bring this in closer so I'm not reaching. Let's see, start with that, and some of this, and let's see, red piece of this, all right, so I think I will put in 2 yellow and the small of that for the back. Now this we can use regular glue. So now we'll take this piece and we'll attach this here. Now how I want to do this is I'm going to fold this over and put some dry adhesive coming down this side. I will fold this over, put some dry adhesive going down this side. Make sure it's down there really good. Now if this one is going to the right, this one also needs to fold to the right or else it's not going to go on there correctly. So make sure when you're folding these down that they both are in the same direction. Okay, I'm going to line this up right on the fold. Now if you have some sticking out when you're done, you can always trim it off. Oh, this is starting to lay this down, and the other side should match right up. There we go. So now we have, fold that back up again, the first layer of our little fish tank. I'm going to pull this tape off. So the rest of the card is going to continue like this. But at this point, we kind of need to decide where we want to put everything. Alright, so here's my stamping platform. Now this little sign is in two pieces here, and this inside piece is the piece I want to stamp. So I'm going to put that down here, and I'm going to take out the best fishes for a happy birthday, and put that in the middle here. And that is not wanting to stick tonight. I think I need to clean my mat here. So we'll just stick a little piece of tape right there, hold that down. And I will clean my mat as soon as I'm done here. Okay. There we go. Let me grab my black ink. I think I'll use Smoked Pearl. Ink that up. And there we go. Now for this sign, my question would be, do I want to emboss this part here to make it look like wood? And I think I do. So I'm going to put it up here in one of the smaller sections. I'm going to put it about here and run this through my machine. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks a little bit better. So let me bring in the Fryer Brown again. And ink this up. I'm only going to see part of this, so I'm only going to do around the edge here. That's probably good. Alright. Now this will get glued on. In the middle like this. Alright. Alright, now let's lay out these layers and decide what's going to go where. So this is our bottom layer. We're going to decorate this one with fish, this one, and then we'll have the front cover, which I'm not sure if where I'm going to put the sand on this yet. Because it really should be inside the glass. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Alright, so now we have to decide where we're going to put all of our little fishy here. So if this one is down here on this layer, so I kind of want to put this one over here for this one, and then maybe up here for this one, because these are all going to be stacked. Now the other fish we'll do the same thing. We'll put this one on this side. Maybe we'll start in the back for him. We'll put this one down below. Let's pull that tape off. And on the top here. So that way when they stack, it's going to look like the fish are swimming together. So that's why you want to put one on each layer and not put, all of them on the same layers. So I think this one will get the sign. And then let me grab some of the seaweed and coral. So maybe we'll put some here. Just start laying some out. Now this one, I'm going to have the same color on both sides, because when that layers, it will look like it's behind it. So that will be good. So we'll put one over here. And I have one more yellow. Guess I can put it over here, kind of like this. All right. Now we have these big pieces here. So I can put one here. here. And one over here. Now the third type of seagrass is this one. So let's see. Put one over here. Yep, I'm going to put the orange one here. I don't have any orange in this level. And we'll put one behind here. And just kind of play with it until you are happy with how this is laid out. And I think that's probably enough of that. So these I can maybe put on the back. Now I also have some shells. So these little scallops can just kind of lay in the sand. There's one here. I'm going to put one over here. Put one down here. And maybe put one here. Alright, so we have these other shells. So I can put one, let's see, I think they should go that way. We'll put one here. And maybe a pink one up here. And the orange one over here. And maybe we'll put that one here on the front. Alright, so I think that's everything. So now I can start gluing things down. So there's panel 1. Panel 2 is going to go on the top like this, but first we need to put in 2 more columns. So we're going to go back to this, since it's such a large area. I'm going to fold this down, take the, let's see, where do I want to put the seam? I want to put the seam in the back. So I want to glue this one here. We will put this on here. Alright, I'm going to turn this sideways. And I'm going to fold this over and line this up with the edge. And like that. There we go. And we'll do this side. And I'm going to put the tape where the seam is, so that will end up in the back. Nobody will see it. Push this over and line this up nice and straight. So if you want, you can fold it this way, and that way you have a nice clear edge there you can line it up against. So now we have 2. See what we're how to do with this? So now this acetate goes on top here. Now we will Push this over. Put the tape on here. There's one side. There is the other side. So if you did this with all wet glue, you would have to let it dry probably about 15 minutes in between each layer. So by using the dry adhesive, I'm able to do this a lot faster. All right. Now, we'll put this one down next. Turn it on its side. So I want to line this up. And line up this side. Make sure we're all still laying flat. All right. There we go. So now we have this. Now this will still fit inside a 5x7 envelope if you fold it first to the left and then to the right. It will fold and fit in the 5x7 envelope. Once this is all set and you can give it a couple good folds, it will stand up just fine. Alright, so the next panel is the one we're going to have the happy birthday on here. So now we need to get our fish and everything on here. Ready to attach this one. All right, the next two. Find where the seam is, put down the tape. And find the seam on this side. Put down some tape. Peel the backing off. I'm going to fold this down and turn this sideways. It's just easier for me to see it sideways. I'm sure everybody will have a preference in how they like to do it. You want to line up the edge here. Pull the paper off the other side and line this one up. I'm probably not putting them on the same way twice, but there's a lot of different ways to get it on there. Alright. Alright, that's good. Now this piece will go on here. So I'm going to fold this down. Put some tape on here. Fold this one down. Let's see, so I went to the right, to the left, to the right. Alright. Down the tape. Right. Peel the backing off. this one up. All right, now the last two. We're going to find the seam, put the tape on, find the seam, put the tape on, sure we're not putting this on sideways here. Why do I feel like that? I'm putting that on backwards. There's the one. There is two. All right, now to decide what we're going to do here. So I'm going to give this a couple good creases here, just to get this going a little bit better. Fold this down this way. Just needed a little more creasing. There we go. Alright, so this is what we have so far. So that really is starting to look like a fish tank. So now we have this last piece here. I really feel like that needs to be behind there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's fold this up. So left, right, left, right, left. All right. I am going to put some glue on the back of here. And attach this to here. And put a little glue on this side. And attach it to here. Then I will take the tape, go over the top of that. The last piece of acetate on the top. Once I take the backing off, we'll line this up here. Okay, it looks like this one I need to trim just a little bit. as I trim the invisible. There we go. Alright, so now I have my trim for the top. Let me open this up. Just what we have here. So now I was thinking this would look like the top trim. This would look like the bottom trim of the fish tank. My question was, do I need to put strips on the side? And I'm thinking for neatness sake, I do. So I think I will. So I will glue these down first. Let me grab some skinnier tape here. Put a piece on here. But I pulled that too tight. There you go. And these were the 5 by 1/4 inch, and this is all craft card, just like the sign, what we used on the back of the card, and this top and bottom here. Alright, I'll start at the top and come down. Now the other side. Start at the top and come down. Oh, that went on a little crooked. Fix that. There we go. Okay, this is sticking out just a tad over here, so I'm going to trim this off. There we go. Alright. So now let me give it another good pressing since I put the front on. Fold it the other way. And another good pressing. Make sure everybody's in agreement in folding. There we go. Alright, so now we have this. So now all that's left is to put the trim on the top and the bottom. Remember, this was 1/2 by 6. That is a different brand of tape. Make sure that's stuck on there really good. Go. Fold this over. Start on this side. Right flush with the bottom. Here's the bottom. Now for the top. And it will be finished. There we go. There's our card, our fish tank. We have lots of fish. We have best fishes for a happy birthday. We have you're officially another year older. Now I did have these 2 pieces left. Oh, I have 3 pieces left. I absolutely could put these on here. That one's a little broken, so you know what? I'm going to cut this one down. Put one here. And I'm going to make these 2 different sizes. I think I'll snip this one off. I'll make that one over here. Let's see, we'll put these like this. Maybe like this. A little dab of glue. And we'll put this one here. I think my hands are still sticky. I think I like it better all one color. Alright, I'm not going to put the red one on here. I'll put this one over here. And I can put this one over here by itself. There we go. Alright, so here's the back. You're officially another year older. In the front, we have our aquarium with our acetate in here. Now to fold this, you're going to go once to the left, once to the right, to the left, to the right, and then it will fit in a 5x7 folder. And then when you open it, it opens like this. So I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, stay crafty.